You're a piece of shit, Papoose. You really are. You have turned into a piece of shit. The gambling, the failures that you've had in your career or whatever that didn't pan out how you wanted to, has turned you into somebody else.
You're very cruel to people because you're a narcissist. She's the type of person who will say something to you, and 10 to 5 minutes later, she'll say, I didn't say that. Straight bipolar. Was diagnosed with it. You're not Cardi B, man. Let's keep it a buck. This is how phony you is.
Welcome to New Viral Drama, where the dirtiest secrets hit the light and Hollywood's chaos gets served raw. So boom, Papoose and Remy Ma just shattered the whole black love goals fantasy in one of the messiest public fallouts we've seen. These two ain't just arguing, they're going for blood online.
Say it again.
You said earlier there's some things Pap need to handle? I don't know.
In his personal life.
Oh,
yeah, it's elephant in the room. Like,
yeah.
but that takes time. And like I said, that's not my place to speak on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have any ill will toward any women. And I don't have any ill will toward her.
Nobody shouldn't have any ill will towards me because I ain't do nothing to nobody. I look at it now and I feel sorry for old girl. Like, I feel sorry for her. I've told Papoose. I told them, why don't you tell this stuff? Why don't you tell your current come up? So that's what it is. Tell your current come up. Don't say nothing about me. You are a world champion. You are accomplished. You have made it from out the ghetto, from the slums, from the depths of Flint, Michigan. You don't got no kids. You have your whole life ahead of you. But why are you attaching yourself to this 47-year-old man that doesn't have anything going, has no career, no job, no income, except for the income that he's claiming off of your percentage because he's your manager? Got you out here talking, looking crazy. He's the one that don't want to sign, don't want to get his stuff out his ex house. Doesn't be there for his child that he begged for, but telling you he wants another one. Let me guess. He's telling you he want a son, right? He has a son. He just doesn't like his son's preference, so he acts like he doesn't have a son. He has a son. We have a son. What are we talking about? I literally told my friends, they was like, yo, you think he ever gonna leave? I was like, when he finds a replacement, when he finds someone who we think he can have doing all the shit that I was doing, then he'll leave. Girl, man, don't nobody fall in love faster than somebody with nowhere to stay. I don't even know who he is today. Let me rephrase that. Because the person that I married in 2008, that's not who this is now. Now he's a wife.
Remy went off first, calling Papoose dusty and accusing him of writing her name for clout. And guess what? Papoose came swinging right back, calling Remy a straight-up manipulator and saying she couldn't stay loyal. Like, what are we even watching? A marriage or a boxing match? And speaking of boxing, enter Claressa Shields, the undefeated champ, no kids, no mess. Until now. She's suddenly in the mix, talking to Papoose while he's still legally tied to Remy and stuck in this emotional train wreck. Claressa might act chill, but sis is stepping right into the fire. And Remy? Oh, she's bothered, heavy. Trying to act unbothered while sub-posting and side-shading?
Because guess what? I'm such a real one. I know the procedure when somebody goes to prison. I know the procedure. So it was never about infidelity. When I came home and I went straight through that phone immediately. I know what was up. When I had to fight baby mothers at mother-in-law's houses on Thanksgiving, I knew that girl wasn't lying about what she was saying was going on while I was saying. I knew she wasn't lying. I just was mad. I knew she wasn't lying, though. If we keeping it a bean, I knew she wasn't lying.
Girl, stop. Let's keep it real. Claressa needs to pump the brakes. This whole drama didn't come from nowhere. It lit up right after her Breakfast Club interview. She got asked about her situation with Papoose and played it real polite. No drama, just smiles. But that clearly struck a nerve somewhere. See, last year Remy and Claressa already had smoke. Remy thought Claressa's camp dropped a shady article and went scorched earth, blasting both her and Papoose all over the internet. Still, Claressa stayed classy. She didn't even throw shade in that interview. But now, the tension is boiling. Should she have aired it all out instead? Maybe Claressa didn't say much, but it definitely didn't deserve Remy's level 10 meltdown. Still, some of those shots Remy fired, Claressa might want to rewatch and take notes, just saying. But Claressa, she's not backing down for nobody. She's riding hard for Papoose, 10 toes locked in. And she wasted no time calling Remy out, claiming she flat out lied about Papoose being her manager. Claressa made it clear, Mark Titt is my real manager, not Remy's ex.
She had a friend that she was away with. She had a certain individual who she was locked up with. I always heard this person's name. I ain't think nothing of it. We had like a little dinner in the basement or whatever at the crib. So this is the first time I seen homegirl outside of when they was in the penitentiary together. So I see her at the crib. Okay, she stayed for a couple days. She spent the night. She tells me, I'm going to sleep in the guest room with such and such. I said, okay, that's cool. I sleep in the room by myself. Next day, same thing. I said, damn, babe, you sleeping in there again? And at this time, I'm trying to be intimate with her. When it's time to go down, she slipped out of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay. After she do that, she go back to sleep in the room with homegirl this particular night. But you want to know why she started having so much animosity towards me? Because I ended up finding out the truth, y'all. And I'm not saying this because it's a bad thing, but I'm saying this because she has done a lot of bashing towards people who live that lifestyle and talk so bad about them and say so many foul things about them that it hurted her so bad that I knew the truth. So on another day, I caught her with this individual in our house while my daughter was on the bed with them. Ended up catching it. Now, this individual is a female. So I can't do nothing to her. I don't put my hands on females. But I told her to get out. Because I feel very disrespected that took place in my house while my daughter was right there on the bed.
And she added that when it comes to her money, she don't play at all. Sis even gave Papoose props, saying he's the one who opened big doors for her and helped her secure real bags. Said he's got his own whip, his own spot, and he ain't no bum. He's solid, in her words. So for Claressa, life's looking real sweet. But Remy's out here throwing shade like, if it's so perfect, why hasn't he lawyered up and left me already? Turns out, he didn't even file the divorce until after Remy aired him out publicly. Like, what's really going on? So now the energy's all twisted. And honestly, Claressa better dip out fast.
Well, that's another thing I don't like. Oh, she was held down while she was in jail. I was who I was when I went to prison. My royalty check still came in. I gave power of attorney so that they could write checks and go on my account and do this. I was buying Christmas gifts, not just for my son, for 3 other children that I was still getting to know. Paying rent in a house that I pay rent in at least 3 different apartments that I never seen a day in my life. You know what I came home to? I was paying rent from jail. When we was on them visits and nobody had no money, we was both on a visiting floor cold together. I did stupid shit like, hey, look at my new truck. It's a push gift. I bought that. So I did do some shit to put the sauce on it. But that's what you're supposed to do when you love somebody and you're in a relationship. You make them see like they're bigger than what they are. You understand? The people that love in hip hop, one executive in particular who I heard was doing this behind the scenes. How you want me talking crazy? Like, y'all ain't see me taking 15, 20, 25,000 off of my fee to put it on that, or to put it on his fee. Why would I want my kid father to be messed up? Nigga, if I got the bag or if I'm in position, I'm gonna make sure, nigga, like, that's what I do. But that's what he preys on.
Because this ain't just messy, it's dangerous. Remy and Papoose got unfinished business, deep scars, and unresolved heat. And this latest digital war, it was wild. Too wild. Let's not act like this is some brand new chaos. Remy and Papoose been dragging each other through the mud on social media for a minute. Things went crazy when the streets started buzzing about Remy allegedly sneaking around with that battle rapper Eazy the Block Captain. Yup, him. And guess what? Remy owns a whole battle rap league. And Eazy was signed under her. Wild, right?
First and foremost, I have a cash business. So there's numerous times where I cashed you out and you went and bought things. With my money. With my money. You want to talk about property? We bought this house together. We bought it together. I wrote one of your biggest records, man. One of your biggest hits. So you want to downplay me as an artist when I wrote one of your biggest hits. That's so sad. All of this money talk and all of this and what I don't got and what I got. Since I met her, I have written 90% of the rhymes that came out of her mouth. I never asked for a penny. I never asked for credit. She was my wife. I didn't want anything from her. I just wanted to see her win. Look at the comments. They know what I wrote. I wrote tons of her music. 90% of her music, I wrote it since I've been around her. The only reason why I'm mentioning that is because you fabricated. You fabricated and you talked about my children. And I saved her life one time in music too. She was in a crisis. Papoose pen to the rescue. Anyway, so I'm writing the music. She needed somebody to book shows. I'm doing the contracts, booking the shows, setting the shows up. I'm coming to the show. I'm collecting the first end. I'm collecting the back end. Word is bond. I don't take one penny, y'all.
This man ain't right 90% of anything. Like, I wish he paid 90% of the... Probably wouldn't be here, but that's neither here nor there.
Next thing you know, Eazy's out here running his mouth, saying he was hooking up with Papoose's wife. That was a straight-up punch in the gut for Papoose. Let's not forget, this man held her down while she was locked up for allegedly clapping at her own best friend over some money. She did 6 years behind bars, and Papoose married her during that stretch. He pressed pause on his entire career, showed up for her in every way, even fought the system just to keep her head up. So now, he's like, I gave you everything, and you gave me this? And when Remy stepped out with Eazy, people couldn't believe it. But oh, the plot thickens. Because Remy, she flipped the script and brought receipts. She showed that Papoose was still texting one of his baby mamas right after she got out of prison. So yeah, he wasn't innocent either. But here's the kicker. Remy still stayed after all the betrayal, all the mess. She stuck around and tried to make it work. She really stayed. Now, this part right here, total shocker. Papoose dropped his own bombshell and said Remy cheated on him with another woman.
When he realized that a regular nigga that can rap, but just not the way we do it. By the way, he makes $50,000 per battle, has about 5-6 battles a year, so he makes at least $250,000 a year. You understand? Great credit score. I never seen a person with a credit score like this in my life. Like the richest people that I've been around. But anyway, unlike some people who beg me to add their name to one of my properties and I have to lean on it because they don't pay their taxes. You was devastated that a regular nigga that used to work for sanitation, got a pension plan, got a 401k, that happens to rap, was able to overcome your manipulation, was able to treat me nice. Not just because the camera's on, not just because people are watching, but because he genuinely felt like that. Not because I was paying his bills, not because I was taking care of his kids. And none of that. None of that. And then after I created my Battle League Chrome 23, I hope to make another Battle League that's popping. He signed himself to, he literally that day signed himself to Slitcherverse Records and dropped a single the same day.
And get this, it didn't happen somewhere random. Nah, he claims she did it in their home, while their daughter was in the house. That's not just messy, that's wildly disrespectful. But here's the twist. Papoose didn't leave. Nope, he stayed right there. And why? Remy came out swinging, saying he had no real choice but to stick around because she was paying every single bill. Sis claimed he had nowhere else to go. No crib, no setup, nothing. So she basically said, I kept the lights on and the roof over his head. And Pap wasn't about to let that slide. He came back hard, said he wasn't just the man in the house, he was the pen behind her rhymes. Claimed he ghostwrote 90% of her tracks, even her big hits like Conceited, and never got any credit. Not a single writing check, no name, no recognition.
You refuse to tell people, hey, me and Rem haven't even slept in the same bed since May 2022. You don't want to tell nobody that. You were so wrapped up in the whole black love thing. That was your thing. That was the only thing you had. Because the original plan was like, you know what? You do what you want to do. I do what I want to do. We said we was going to raise our daughter a certain way, you know, and we going to figure out how to live in the same house and whatever. But then motherfuckers felt like they could control what I do, but do whatever they want to do. When niggas tried to do, when it came to my event and make a scene, if y'all really look back, this didn't come from me.
You such a liar. There was no agreement. When I found out you was with the lame, you denied it. You basically said, yo, why would I be with him? Why do you think I would be with him? And then you wanted to go to therapy. So check it out now. Check it out. So when we go to therapy, me and her both said we want to work it out. I never wanted to leave from under the roof of my baby. That's why I stayed around for this nonsense. And the therapist told her, Remy, since you're saying that it's only business with this dude moving forward, but y'all have a last event coming up, after this event, you're going to cut all ties with this individual. Long story short, she kept cheating with the lame. Okay, move forward from that. Another event is coming up later on down the line. I found out the lame was there. I said, she gotta be kidding me, man. I done told you, and you bring them to the event. I've caught her cheating numerous times since she's been home. She's staying out on days my daughter got to go to school. My daughter's calling, she's not answering the phone. I'm calling, she's not answering when she's with this lame. Then she's with this lame for days at a time. It's like crackhead behavior. I'm like, yo, something is wrong. Are they using drugs or something? Like, what's going on with her and this lame?
So now he's looking at her flaunting success while he's in the background like, those bars? Mine. And honestly, I believe him too. The timing, the way he moved, it makes too much sense. Honestly, I'm pretty sure Papoose wrote Shether too. And even Nicki Minaj kinda hinted at it in No Frauds. But let's not act like Pap is only bitter about the music. Nah, this goes way deeper. He's heartbroken, point blank. You can feel it. He's one of those guys who needs to save somebody. He gravitates toward women who've been through pain, who never felt secure or loved, and then steps in like a hero. Once he shows them love, they fold, spoil him, cover the bills, ride hard. And that setup, it works for him. That's how he survives. But somewhere down the line, Remy switched up. She didn't want to play that role anymore. She wanted something different. And now, she's all close with Eazy the Block Captain. And Pap is low-key suggesting she's holding him down too. Like history repeating itself.
Through this entire ordeal of her cheating with this lame, I started to notice that he had something on her. And I felt like he was blackmailing her. I'm gonna play the recording right now. This is the lame.
Yeah, look, so far she's saying she fuck with me, I believe her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go with that. But you're right though. Anything can happen. Oh, that shit gonna be 3 months, man. I don't know for how long it is. I got pictures and actions and videos of it. That shit gonna blow whenever I say it's gonna go. I'm talking about what I'm saying, that news of cheating and all of that shit go anytime. It don't matter if it's a week or whatever. Like, the only reason why it's sparking is because you all these shit.
You just heard this lame, who she was dealing with since 2022, say in his own voice, I got videos and pictures of us. That's going to go whenever I say so. One of the reasons why she's so angry at me is because she says, all of this is my fault. Y'all ready for this? Because I knocked him out. She said if I would have never knocked him out, she would have been stopped talking to him. She said the fact that I knocked him out, she had to keep talking to him because she didn't want him to expose things. But I want y'all to hear this. Listen to this.
She would have been over. He would have been over. You put me in a predicament, so I had to still kind of be cool with it to make sure you don't go all the way bad and I'm not getting dragged on both sides by team tackles and team.
That's your name, babe, bro.
I didn't give a he care.
That is not true.
Talking to this nigga.
I would have been stopped talking with this nigga. So she's mad at me because I knocked him out. So she's telling me that I knocked him out. I put her in a position where she still had to be cool with him. But she tell y'all on live, oh, he's this. Oh, yeah. A man that treat me right. A man that did this and did that. You just said the other day you don't even deal with this lame no more. I just played her saying that she would have been done with him if I would have knocked him out. Guess what, y'all? He's still going to deal with her because he's a bum. The league is hers. It's not his. She threatens him anytime he get mad. Oh, I'm take it down. You sleeping with this girl, take it up. I got all of that document.
Still, Remy was quick to defend her man, especially when people started throwing shade about Eazy's money and credit. She shut that down fast. And honestly, I believe Remy on this one. I do. It seems like Eazy hit Pap right where it hurts. The ego. Pap sees Eazy as the dude who shattered not just his marriage, but their whole image. They used to be the blueprint for black love. Now, it's chaos. But Remy cleared the air, said her and Pap were already living separate lives, already seeing other people. The trust? Long gone. Pap says she cheated, but Remy clapped back like, he did too. Not Papoose? Out here cheating on the woman he called his queen the whole time? Man, it's all been smoke and mirrors. Both of them were faking the perfect love story for the public, no doubt. They kept saying they were staying together for their daughter, and I believe that part. But behind the scenes, it was already over. Now, Pap claims he and Remy had a mutual understanding, that they were gonna try to fix the marriage. So when she moved on with Eazy, that cut deep. Pap was stuck thinking maybe they still had a shot. And honestly, if he had stepped up more with the finances, maybe Remy would have stayed. But here's where it really gets messy. Papoose said he would have stayed if Remy hadn't gone running off with Eazy. He even claimed Eazy was pressuring Remy to stay with him. That's when things got real shady. Pap pulled a petty move and recorded voice messages to expose the truth. He swears Eazy was trying to manipulate Remy behind closed doors. And to add more fire, Tasha K slid in with even more tea, saying Eazy the Block Captain was allegedly sliding into another woman's DMs while he was with Remy. This reportedly went down back in November, so it's not brand new. But if true, that makes Eazy look like a straight-up cheater too.
I'm with my daughter all the time. I don't just pick her up once a month, if that, and then run to social media and post it to make it seem like I'm the parent of the year. I've seen my daughter more than 3 times this year.
He has a son. He acts like he doesn't have a son. He has a son. We have a son who is very much alive and well and probably feels slighted sometimes.
It hurts me that I gotta even say this about you, that I gotta even come on this live and do this. But the fact that you tried to mention my children, the fact that you had the audacity to come on here and say, I haven't seen my daughter, when you didn't allow me to see my daughter. You had the audacity to send me a text and tell me not to come to my child's party. Why did you do that? Because I moved on and I wasn't sitting in the house watching my daughter while you run around with this lame, come home to me and say you wasn't with him. You sit here and you want to mention my son. Okay. First and foremost, I love all my kids the same. Anybody who knows me knows that. She tried to go out here and exploit my son. And somebody told me, she said, oh, I'm gonna, if he keep talking, I'm gonna go on live with his son or whatever. What? You are the one who have malicious things to say about other people's kids. And I don't even want to bring my stepson in it because I know his situation is very serious and I love him. And I love my son the same. I love both of them. But I love my stepson like he my real son because I raised him. Even right now, the situation that he's in, I went to visit him. You didn't even visit him. You waited till I visit him, then you went to visit him. But I love my son, I love my stepson, I love all my kids, I love my daughters, all the same. Like I said, as your kids get older, sometimes y'all have differences because as a parent, certain things you want for them, certain things they want for themselves. But that doesn't change the love. Love all my kids the same. You want to pretend like you got any type of love for my son? You don't got no love for nobody in my family. You never showed no love you had animosity and hatred towards everybody, especially other women. You are a very unhappy individual.
She won't let me see my daughter. She won't let me see my daughter. I ain't never been the bitch to keep a man away from his kid. Are you talking about the times when you wanted to take her over to your mother's house? And I told you, don't be having my daughter around. One of your adopted sisters, knowingly, y'all all know about it over there, touching on kids. And that's why she ain't never been over there. That's why she don't know them. And you agreed with it when we were together. Hence why my daughter ain't never really go over there like that.
By the way, my stepson called me. Want me to put him on my live? I'll put him on my live and let him go. I'll let him go. Mr. Great Dad, Mr. Great Husband. I will add him to my live and let him go on you. You tell me thank you. I felt bad after because I didn't even realize that. Like, oh, I could have just possibly put him in and said thank you. Thank you, Remy. You weirdo.
But you came on here and you mentioned my kids. Then you went back on there and tried to act like you exploited my son like it's something I'm ashamed of. So when she called me the other day, tried to get back with me yesterday, and I declined because she was so mad about Clarissa, so angry because I finally moved on. She see us living our.
And Pap, he's playing his own petty game. His whole vibe with Clarissa Shields looks more like a strategy than a real connection. It's like they're using these new relationships to push each other's buttons. This ain't love, it's war. And Clarissa, girl, run. These two got more drama than a daytime soap. They've been throwing shots online non-stop. Papoose out here dissing Remy's new man, and Remy clapping back like, you pawned my jewelry for rent money. What? The accusations flying back and forth are next level wild. But things really spiraled once they dragged family into the beef. At that point, it stopped being about the marriage. Now it's about public image. Both of them want to make the other look like the villain. The messier the story, the more they avoid accountability. And let's keep it real. They both got dirt on their hands. They're just spinning the narrative, trying to play victim so the internet picks a side.
But y'all know how it is with these. They could do mad shit to you all day, every day, year after year, decade after decade. But the second you do something to them, the second you say, I'm done, I'm finished, all hell breaks loose. The moment that he knew his job at TuneCore was solidified via that over there, play with me. That's why he was mad that I never posted it, because he doesn't get a check from TuneCore. He was getting a percentage of the subscriptions, and he wanted me to post to my 11 million followers to subscribe to TuneCore. And I told him, tell the TuneCore to post it on the page.
But trust, nobody is innocent in this circus. This whole situation, it's so messy, it's almost funny. Almost. Remy and Papoose are both so dang petty, it's unreal. They act like they've moved on, but deep down, they still got feelings. And that's exactly why this chaos keeps spinning. And Claressa, girl, I'm saying it again. Run! But let's be honest, she ain't going anywhere. She's standing by Papoose, which means she's signing up for all this drama, Remy included. What do you think about this nonstop back and forth? Who's really in the wrong? Or are they both just wildin'? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We gotta talk about it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video if you're into the real unfiltered tea. And don't forget to tap that bell so you never miss a scandal. Catch y'all in the next one. It's only getting messier from here.